Good evening, everyone. It's now 7 o'clock, it's 7:01. We'll start the meeting. We will review and approve the January 3rd meeting minutes. Has anybody had a chance to look them over?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion, second?
Second.
Second. Any other comments, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item up is the Mr. Yass's special use permit. It was originally given to us on August 20th, 2023. The address of the project site is 6772 and 6782 Byron Holly Road. The zoning district is C2, general commercial. The justification for request, a contractor at another location in Byron would like to utilize this parcel to store and sell mulch, topsoil, and gravel next to the storage units. Upon that, Mr. Yassis and the town referred this to the Genesee County Planning Board, and this was reviewed on September 14th, 2023. The gentleman that replied was Felipe Otterman. Their response was, the required modifications are as follows. The applicant obtains comments and/or any other required driveway permit from the New York State DOT due to the change of use. Number 2, the applicant maintained the proposed use entirely on the southern parcel. These required modifications, the proposed contractor shall pose no significant countywide or intercommunity impact. According to Genesee County Planning Board, it was approved with the modifications, and the modification was the permit from New York State DOT. From my discussions from other individuals, that permit takes probably up to 4 to 6 months. It is my understanding that Mr. Yassis has already applied for that permit. Is that correct?
It will be tomorrow morning, whenever Paul opens up, 8 o'clock, 8:30. That's all
Okay.
today. He's ready to pull the trigger.
All right.
And a survey, Mr. Chairman, a survey has been ordered. He won't get to it till next week
Okay.
because he has some work to do down the road. He wants to kill 2 birds with 1 stone rather than make 1 trip.
Okay.
And I wanted a survey as well.
Thank you. Let's see, and from the DEC, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. The town had reached out to them on December 15th of 2023. It was checked into regulatory requirements and actually reached out to Mr. Yassis to get a better idea of what the operation entailed. I'm sorry, the gentleman that reached out to us, his name is Mark Amann, A-M-A-N-N, and he's a professional engineer, the Division of Materials Management under New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. He, as in Mr. Yassis, is storing and occasionally screening topsoil and recycled asphalt pavement, considered RAP. These are typical materials used in the construction industry, and the 6 NYCRR Part 360 series, Part 360, regulations contain a number of exemptions and predetermined beneficial uses as addressing their management. Based on the information Mr. Yassis provided, the operation appears to meet the terms of these exemptions and predetermined BUDs. That having been said, there are certain scenarios where the operation could become subject to regulation under Part 360. And so I was going to send him a form to register his operation as a C&D processor if he wishes to expand the scope of his operation, with the understanding that he is also responsible for obtaining any permits or approvals from the town, which he knows. On the topic of RAP, we commonly receive complaints from residents concerning with the potential for leaching. The Department of Environmental Conservation has determined that the management of RAP in accordance with the Part 360 regulations is not expected to result in any significant environmental impacts. Looking at GIS and the DEC's Environmental Mapping App, the storage area does not appear to abut or overlap onto the creek or wetlands, which is good. I hope this information is helpful. Feel free to reach out again if you have any questions. I will now open this up to the public.
What's it zoned for right there?
It's general commercial. Let's see, I have that down. Yes, C2, general commercial.
I'd like to say something.
Sure.
My name's Byron. I'm new to Byron. Only moved in here in July last year. I live right next door to that property. And Mr. Yassis and I had a conversation, and he assured me that there would be a survey done since our properties are right next door to one another. He's also agreed that he'll put up a chain link fence so that we know whose is whose. And at this point, having lived with it next door all of last, from July on, I didn't find any significant issues, other than the beeping or the backing up, but that's about the size of it. So I don't have any objections. I think it would be okay and fine. I mean, it's another source of revenue for Byron, which is good for our town. And also bring in outside business, which is another good thing.
So, Mr. Chairman, to address the pickup alarm, once we get it fenced and we get gates, there will be eventually gates, we will turn the alarm off. It's not a wise idea to be running around backing up when the gate's wide open, who knows, drives in, walks in.
Fair enough.
We just shut them off and do our thing. While we're done, put them on the road, flip the people back on. And I understand, listen, it's a pain in the butt ski inside the machine. So, we're trying to be good neighbors. And yes, anytime he has a problem or question, he just comes and we always take care of it.
Thank you. Gentleman in the back.
So the permit,
Sir, what's your name, sir?
Walter Kowalik,
Thank you.
6269 West Main Street. So the permit states gravel is now milled petroleum blacktop pavement considered gravel.
Is it considered gravel? No.
No.
The permit is for millings and gravel. And mulch.
He didn't mention millings in the permit nomenclature. It said mulch, topsoil, and gravel.
That might have been an early on.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the latest. Yes, you're right, sir. The one that I read off, I don't have the most recent. This is the original one, like I said, dated back in August of 2023.
Yeah, and this one, I don't know the date on it, because we had to fill out the application again. This one says applicant would like to utilize approximately 0.5 acres as a contractor's yard for storage sale of mulch, topsoil, millings, and gravel for use in construction.
Thank
So
you.
this is the one that they sent
Okay.
back.
Patrick, can you note that?
Apologize, everybody's got different.
Yeah, I apologize, I didn't have the latest.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else?
But just a question, is the fence gonna be like where your storage area is? You're gonna now put a second fence in and then have it completely fenced in?
It will be eventually completely fenced in. I definitely want to make my neighbor happy. That'll go up first. We'll probably continue on the fence that we have in front of storage to make it look more uniform. And probably toss a little sign just like the storage, to make it look nice for that as well.
Yeah, I see it as an attractive nuisance to kids, like I would be climbing.
Well,
That was a
the
kid.
reason, so I'm cheap, okay? So the reason I put it on the other side is a berm.
Yeah.
It didn't cost a lot of money to put that berm up, okay? But we'll tell you about that. Eventually, we'll either put, even at the storage, we'll probably put a pines or maybe a fence on top of the berm, or take the berm, hey, so I stay by it. Whatever looks nice.
In the back, sir?
Roger GENESEE, Byron. I'd like to know, are we going to be loading all the millings in the yard or on the side of the road like we did the other day?
I had to load about a couple buckets, Raj, on the side of the road just to get the scale right for the truck. That was all I had to do.
Again, my question
No.
stands,
We
will
don't
be
want-
loading on the side of the road or in the lot?
No, not normally loaded on the road.
Nope, just that single time was it. All internal.
To my understanding, you will be loading the lot.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right, yep.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Bob, then I'll get back to Roger.
I was wondering when did the accumulation start with the millings on the property?
I don't even know.
I don't remember exactly the day. No, I don't.
So what happened was the millings showed up, questions were asked, and that's when we realized that, yes, Pete was in commercial, but his specific portion of the millings or any of those piles had to be under a special use permit. So it was an accidental error. I mean,
I actually brought it up to her.
so, because there's things everywhere in the zoning ordinance, and it's hard to make sure you have, and you know this, Karen, your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because it's not, in my opinion, it's not laid out properly. But at any rate, so when you connect all those dots, that's when I had to tell Pete that he needed to apply for the special use permit. So, back to your question, when did they show up? I'm not altogether sure.
So nobody knows when the millings started showing up?
Nope, all I have is the email
Last summer sometime.
from Candy on,
Actually, if I can tell you what I observed living next door,
Sure.
I didn't observe that during the summer. It wasn't until late fall.
Okay. When I observed it, there was a sign up saying for sale right next to the millings.
Yes.
Okay. And that was,
like August, September.
well, the property at the Elba Rec Hall had all the millings taken, and you did all the construction and the removal, correct?
Some of the millings stayed on site at Alba.
Okay.
Most of the millings stayed on site, I believe, all
I
of
believe
Alba.
all of them, if they
I don't
want.
think any of those
Yeah,
came
we did Alba, we paved and striped and oil and stone that, and I believe, if not all, I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of piles there, and I think we created them.
Yeah, actually we did, because we pushed them off with the Alpha Fire Department, with our dozer all day.
Because Alba Fire Department also had other piles there that we pushed off, I think.
And what about the Pavilion Fire Department?
What about-
We didn't do anything there, we paved.
Didn't you also do
No,
another
okay.
fire department?
Yeah, pavilion.
Okay.
What's that got to do with the application
Well,
in front of us?
If nobody has an idea of when the violation first started, of what month, I mean, what is the property zoned for at that time or even now?
the
It's
property,
But for the-
property is zoned commercial, and that is a use that's allowed. However, it's allowed under a special use permit, so you have different.
Right.
levels. Primary uses, accessory uses, and secondary special permit uses. So the confusion came because he was already open with the storage, and he had bought and demoed that house and had some gravel there when he built the buildings. I think he just continued on from there. And then when we realized that it was a special use is when we addressed it, and he did the application.
So-
And similar to what we had with Karen and Roger, the stuff stayed there until it was rectified. You know, they rectified it because they were cited, he rectified it because we needed the application.
Right, Karen and Roger under Byron Repair had been there for many years.
No, no, I understand, I'm just saying that because of the process.
I'm not sure where you're going with this part, but it
I just want to know,
before it was put there, while it was put there, and currently today, it has been, was zone C2. That
Well-
should have absolutely no bearing on where you're going with it.
I'm going where right now you said that the property has not been surveyed. I'm going where the application is just starting now. I thought that maybe, well, okay, you started the application and
August.
you have an existing business,
The survey,
and then you have an application that is open. That's where I'm going at, is that you have an existing new business
Caught
selling.
an accident, or we caught somebody doing something that they thought they had the right to do. So we're
So we're trying to
rectifying.
right a wrong.
It wasn't malicious, and it wasn't done intentionally, on my part anyways. I had no idea, I just figured, until I read this crazy zoning ordinance, and I mean, it's difficult to read and connect the dots. You do one thing here, but you do something else there, and they're working on it. But again, he's there, the county's already reviewed it, the DEC's looked at it, and this is a kind of a formality because it's been going on that long. And I don't know,
So then, my next question is during this process, he can still continue to do business without having the proper paperwork?
He has the proper paper.
But it's in front of you. What I'm saying is, right now,
But the secret's already been
I'm,
approved, the special use permit's already been approved.
But you
Waiting for
don't-
DOT, and then we had to have open forum with the public.
so then everything is, this is not a public hearing for it
This
then?
is a
If this
public
is
hearing,
already
yes.
done? My question is, can you
I
conduct
said it
a,
was completed. We haven't approved it yet.
can you conduct a business without the proper channels on a new business?
It's not a new
This
business.
is not a new business.
It's not a new business.
You didn't just start having asphalt for sale right now during the summer?
That's part of Yass's Trucking and Construction and
which is what we do, yeah.
custom construction materials. That's part of that business.
On that location? That's part of the business on that location then?
I'm not gonna argue with you, Barb. I dealt with it for years as a town supervisor. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I just want answers. This is a public hearing, is it not?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so are we limited to questions that pertain to operation of a business in the town at a new location? And we don't have a survey done?
Nobody needs a survey, I mean, no one called for a survey. He's doing the survey so he can determine where the lot line is in between his two lots.
That's all a survey does is determine lot.
Nobody asked for one. I
I didn't.
didn't require it. He's just
Oh,
doing it so he knows, because Felipe said he would like everything on one parcel. So he's
that's why we're
surveying
doing what we're
it, so
doing.
he makes sure wherever the line is, that one business is on this parcel and one's on that.
That was
So it's going to be two separate businesses then?
Yes.
Correct. The other one, we're not even talking about the storage. But
Okay.
the two lots are beside one another, and he bought them separately, so he wants to know where the lot line is. And he wants to make sure his neighbor knows where the lot line is, so he can put the fence up.
Thank you.
Roger in the back.
Roger Jasinski again. Will the pile be getting any bigger, or will you be keeping it to a minimum height and size?
Roger, I can't guarantee that. I'll tell you what happened to me last time was, I buy them at auctions, and I bought what the gentleman said was 800 ton. Well, I'm here to tell you that he kept hauling it in. I said, dude, how much load you got? Oh, I don't know, we got another week. He hauls 40 ton of whack like we do. And he's hauling 4 and 5 loads a day. I said, you've done a couple of days. Oh, no, there's one more than that. I said, wow, really? So, and if I don't take it all, I get blackballed to bid again. You know how an auction works. So,
Okay, so you're saying that you're gonna try
is
to keep it
there
to
a
a minimum?
restriction in town of the height?
There is no restriction in town
Okay.
of the height.
Okay.
I'm just worried, I was only concerned about the height of the fence to keep the people out, mainly the kids.
The height of the fence will be 6-foot fence. So if you slope, if you put a fence here and the pile is here, and you slope the perimeter down, you still have 6 foot. It's not like I'm gonna put the pile against the fence, they jump on the fence and jump on the pile. You slope you slope your perimeter to the bottom of the fence. If you jump over that fence, you meant to jump over that fence.
Well,
That
that's,
fence will be 6 foot tall,
okay,
okay?
now you put,
Any other comments or questions from the public?
I was gonna say, as far as the
Your name,
timeline,
sir?
Chuck, Byron. As far as the timeline, I've rented a storage unit late August, maybe September. And the file had just maybe had started in September. So, you know, to answer your question about the timeline. It wasn't there all summer, but I say it was like more towards September is when I noticed it. And I've lived in Byron since 2014 and had houses for neighbors, and they've always been really considerate and cautious about the trucks, the loading the dirt and everything else. And I'm sure the project they have going on now, it will carry on to be that way.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last call? We'll now close this public hearing. Thank you, everyone. Next order on the agenda is the discussions of a complaint form. I had two items that I found. I found one from the town of Stafford. That's that down. I also sent out the one from the town of Batavia. I don't believe the town of Byron has one. So I would like to address that this evening. What did everybody think about the one from the town of Batavia? Other than changing all the names and the addresses and all that.
I thought that was good.
I
I think it's the purpose of what you
Yeah.
said about this section here.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
like that they added that section in there, so, about the zoning ordinance pertaining to the complaint, so.
And Melissa, the question of complaint form, I don't believe we have one for the town of Byron. So I sent you also a copy of the one for the town of Batavia. So you would be okay with that? And then obviously change everything for the town of Byron to address any comments or concerns so that issues like this can be formally addressed.
Yeah, typically with that, they would call the clerk. The clerk has the form, because I think she files it also, to make sure the town board knows there's a complaint.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
would also like to see, because I was looking on many other towns, it can be a printable form and you can mail it in. Would that work?
yep, and there's also, you can do, if we get one firmed up, we can turn it into a fillable PDF and we can put it online and they can just email it.
I think that's our intent. I think that would help out with a lot of other issues in town. So what everybody thinks this is okay from the town of Batavia? So I will make the changes to make our address and all that. And I think the only thing I would like to add is to add somebody's email address under address and
Yeah,
phone.
you can put mine on there.
Okay, all right, so add Melissa's address.
They have 62 days from the close of the public hearing, if they wish.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the revisions to the town of Batavia to reflect town of Byron for the complaint form?
I'll make the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we will have to get with somebody from the town to get that on our website. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Motion to adjourn?
Are you,
You gonna vote on this tonight, this public hearing tonight? Do you have to vote on it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm
well,
sorry.
and the other thing is
Hold
too, I have a list of conditions.
Other than the one that they
Just
listed for
hours of
the DOT?
operation, I need to know, and then the other condition in our zoning says that as a CEO, ZEO, Pete or any business, one of the conditions is that if I need to do an inspection, that I'm allowed to.
Right, okay.
And then, I mean, I think we covered everything. but I just need something to come in the back.
So do we wait on the DOT or can we
No.
approve?
Because if he doesn't get that, believe you me,
DOT will shut you down.
Okay, the DOT,
It won't,
so I was unaware of that, obviously I knew this, but,
Like I told you on it last month, it takes all the design, it'll go to Batavia, Rochester, it comes back, it goes back and forth a couple, 3 times. And he was pretty true, like 5, 6 months when he did the other one. It's like 5, 6
I had
months.
one in Clarendon, it took 7 months.
okay.
And that permit is good for a year.
You have to reapply.
If I don't put the driveway in a year,
Oh, I see.
I have to do it over
I see,
with DOT.
okay.
And it's just
It's
a
not
matter
cheap.
of, no. I have to buy a bond, I have to pay for the permit, plus I have to have a working bond. Even though I have all the proper insurance, I still have to buy another bond.
Yeah.
And then he inspects it, then I get the bond back. It's
Process.
yeah, they give you a detail. In fact, if you look at that sketch, it'll show you the detail of what the normal, yes, up in that one corner.
Yeah,
It'll show you that.
okay.
What is the difference? Why do you need a bond? You have insurance, what is the bond
Because he's
for?
working on the.
Because you're working on the state
Working
right
on the
away.
state highway. And he screws something up, they want,
Oh,
so I want to make sure.
Yeah.
To cover,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
Fiber optic line or something.
yeah. I mean, Dave's a good guy, but.
So Melissa, do you want to list the business
So-
restrictions?
I'm sorry, say that
Do you
again?
want to list the restrictions?
I actually have, that statement that I gave you,
Okay.
the DOT ingress and egress driveway permit. And then if he wants to name hours of operation, I mean, it's
Okay.
construction, so if he's Monday through Sunday.
I'm okay, I'm okay, if you want to do no earlier than 7 a.m.
Okay,
And,
I'm
really,
still in bed.
in,
Don't bother me on
Whatever.
the weekends.
whatever the,
Come up at 3:15.
meteorologist says at dusk, dusk is 8:52. Here's the problem is, I mean, we work 10, 11, 12 hours a day anyway,
yep,
but I don't want to do that crap. You know,
no,
I don't want to restrict myself down to Sundays, because like I told you before, if a guy calls me and say, Pete,
Nope.
it's my only day off, we have a million times, I mean,
we do stuff with the quarry too, if they have an emergency where they have a big job and they gotta deliver something, and they don't normally operate either past that hour or before that hour, and they have to contact the town, and then there's actually a list of, I don't know, 12 or 15 properties that we have to let them know,
Oh,
so
okay.
they're not bothered. So I mean, we could do, if he knows he's going outside what he's listed.
but, I mean, if you can do 7 a.m. to dusk, 7 days a week, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
By dusk, you're pooped,
and then,
I don't want to do it.
Oh, by dusk, I'll be ready to kick you out. You're like, seriously?
and then everything else, I mean, the DOT, they would have restrictions on, like, hauling fill,
Okay,
and that's between the DOT and him.
okay.
Yeah.
But if they have any restrictions on how big piles can get, I think Mr. Amen said that they didn't currently.
Correct.
So
We don't need that.
unless they see something that looks sketchy, they'll let him know and then let us know.
Okay.
Actually, I want to put a big American flag up there early,
Or the MTV guy holding it.
wherever it takes.
Okay.
And I'm okay with them.
So I will ask for an approval with modifications. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
I'll submit it back up to the county.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your.
And then back again, I will open this up to any other comments or questions from the floor. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
First? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Where's that bad boy?